Good afternoon to all. Welcome. I welcome all of you to our first academic session. It is my pleasure to welcome our esteemed guest and panelist in our first academic session. In this academic session, we are joined by Dr. Anand Burdhan sir, Dr. Sujeet Nayan sir, Dr. Dhammaratna, and our Honorable Chairperson sir will join us shortly, Dr. Sudhir Kumar Mishra sir, Principal Sachchidanand Sinha College. As we celebrate World Heritage Day today, Bihar Heritage Conclave is a reminder for us to acknowledge the rich and glorious heritage of Bihar. It is important to value our heritage, as by valuing our heritage, we also value our culture, our past, as well as our present, and our native place surrounding us. We celebrate our collective identity. On this special occasion, on this day of Bihar Heritage Conclave, our esteemed speakers, sir, will present the enlightening lectures on different aspects of the heritage and history of Bihar. In this series, it is my esteemed honor and privilege to welcome and invite Dr. Anand Burdhan, sir, Assistant Professor, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar University, Delhi. Professor Dr. Burdhan, sir, will speak on Aryabhatta, his mathematics, and its influence on the world of sciences. So,
Thank you, Azad ji. I appreciate the endeavor taken by Bihar Heritage Society. Very especially, I admire the dedicated work being diligently done by Anant Ashutosh Dwivedi ji, and I may see some of very important names. Uh, Dr. Sujeet Nayan is, I think, also participating in this online seminar. I welcome him and other scholars who are listening to me. Friends, Aryabhatta belong to Kushumpur, though there is a debate, and a scholar like Balakrishna Dikshit says Aryabhatta belong to South India. But we have all substantial reasons to be proud of the fact that Bal Krishna Dikshit's view appears to be hypothetical, and the fact is that Aryabhatta, of course, belonged to the Pataliputra Desh. As he himself wrote, Kusumpure Abhyarchit Jnanam, I obtained the knowledge, and here it means knowledge of mathematics, knowledge of astronomy, and knowledge of physics and geography from the great school of Pataliputra School of Mathematics or Pataliputra School of Astronomy, Bhuvan Kosha Vijnana. Aryabhatta, in our tradition, is one of the most significant name, a reverent name in the history of sciences, Indian sciences, and it can be understood by many of the epithets which have been invariably used in many of the critics and commentary writers of later period, where we find Aryabhatta has been mentioned as Sri Madhabhatta. He is the most revered one among all the Bhatta. Bhatta here doesn't mean what we understand by the common popular word Bhata. It means Bhatta means a warrior Brahmin, a great Brahmin, and a great scholar. Uddhavat Vidwan. It is in that very sense. Gupta rulers also used Param Bhattarak. The word exists in the Virud of the Gupta kings also. So he has been mentioned as Srimad Bhatt, and in many of the slokas written on his great work Aryabhattam as commentary, he has been mentioned as Srimad Aryabhatta Prabho. Prabho means he is like the God, like a God. So Aryabhatta has been called God of mathematics and God of astrology in Indian tradition, and there is one great scholar named Govinda Swami. We must quote him. Govinda Swami and also Parameswar, who wrote a tika on Aryabhatta, and there he has used the term Bhagavan Aryabhatta. मतलब कि ये आर्यभट्ट सामान्य नहीं थे, वो भगवान थे, भगवान शब्द से संबोधित किया गया है. So we must examine the very matter why this great mathematician had been called Srimad Bhattaha, Prabho Bhattaha, and then Bhagavan Aryabhattaha. Of course, there is a reason. No other mathematician within Indian subcontinent in historic period received such appreciation. Now there is a reason that before Aryabhatta, though mathematics was quite popular, and it is very clear from Kalpa Sutra that Indians excelled in geometry, ritual geometry, had great understanding of cultural astronomy. But Aryabhatta was the first one who presented in a very aphoristic way the sutra, the formulas of astronomy and mathematics. And in that context, we must understand the contribution made by him. So Aryabhatta wrote Aryabhattam, which is the most prolific work for that this great mathematician is known to the world. In that there are four major divisions. One is Dashagitika, another is Ganitpad, third is Kalakriyapad, and last one is Golpad. So Aryabhatta's book are written basically on four major subjects. Interestingly, majority of scholars have done commentary on Ganitpad and Golpad. Ganitpad, you can understand, it is purely on mathematics, and Golpad is all about the universe. It is in correct sense the most profound study available in his writing on astronomy. So Ganitpad and Golpad, of course, these two sections, two divisions of his work became very popular. This is said that Aryabhattam is a tantra, and this is a very interesting thing about Aryabhattam, that why it has been called tantra. हम आर्यभट्टियम को तंत्र क्यों कहते हैं? So there is a specific reason, and what is that specific reason? It is about the calculation of time, right from the beginning of inception of Kali era to his contemporary periods. यदि कोई गणना कलियुग के आरंभ से की जाती है तो उस प्रकरण को, उस पद्धति को तंत्र के अंतर्गत रखा गया है, और इसीलिए आर्यभट्टियम को हम लोग बहुत बार तंत्र ग्रंथ कहते हैं. बहुत सारे ग्रंथ हैं जो कर्ण ग्रंथ के नाम से जाने जाते हैं. वर्ण ब्रह्मगुप्त का जो खंडन खाद्य है वो कर्ण ग्रंथ है, लेकिन इनको हम तंत्र ग्रंथ के नाम से जानते हैं. सो Aryabhatta's contribution must be first understood in terms of a holistic system of knowledge that was evolved in India. And what was that holistic knowledge system? That mathematics astronomy and astrology, they are a kind of interdisciplinary subject. They are matters of interdisciplinary discourse. यानी कि ब्रह्मांड और गणित एक दूसरे से पृथक नहीं है. Astronomy has to be understood on the basis of mathematical calculation, and mathematics has an underlying unity in perception with the astronomical calculations. तो ये एक बहुत महत्वपूर्ण पक्ष है जिसके ऊपर आर्यभट्ट ने जोड़ दिया है, और हम उसको कह सकते हैं कि इन later period what was evolved as भुवन कोश विज्ञान, what was evolved as Indian astrology, on that there is remarkable impact of the very idea of Aryabhattian. आर्यभट्ट ने अपने पूर्व में किन किन आचार्यों को पढ़ा, ये थोड़ा सा कहना कठिन इसलिए होता है. पूर्वाचार्य तो हैं, अकॉर्डिंग टू भास्कर फर्स्ट there had been पूर्वाचार्य, precursor of Aryabhatta, but their writing is not available. However, it appears that Aryabhatta had studied very deeply and had developed insight into Indian astronomy and mathematics on the basis of the literature which evolved right from the period of Vedang Jyotish to his period. उसके इस कालखंड में वेदांग ज्योतिष से लेकर उनके पूर्ववर्ती जो कालखंड है उसमें जितने भी गंभीर अध्ययन हुए, कहीं न कहीं आर्यभट्ट उनसे परिचित थे, ऐसा मान सकते हैं. And some of the writers have mentioned that there is discourse on nakshatras, graha, kal in Satpat Brahman, and from the writing of Aryabhatta it is very clear that he was well versed in the Satpat tradition as well. So he studied, of course, the Surya Siddhanta, the philosophy evolved by his precursors. He had profound knowledge of Vedanga Jyotish, and he was well adept in the Satpat tradition. So एक जो गुणात्मक शोध होता है, क्वालिटेटिव रिसर्च होता है, इसमें अपने पूर्ववर्ती शोधों का बड़ा ध्यान रखा जाता है. ये पक्ष निश्चित तौर से आर्यभट्ट का बड़ा विराट है, और इस दृष्टिकोण से हम कह सकते हैं कि he evolved the sutras on mathematics which were evolved prior to him. And this is the reason that some of the commentators say that it's difficult to define that what are the formulas which were evolved prior to Aryabhatta and what was evolved himself by Aryabhatta. ये दोनों बहुत महत्वपूर्ण कथन हैं उनके बारे में कि उनके पूर्व के सिद्धांत क्या थे और उन्होंने किन किन सिद्धांतों को अपने समय में जन्म दिया है. हम लोगों का जो विषय है कि आर्यभट्ट जो है उनका ज्ञान कैसे दुनिया में पहुंचा और वो कौन कौन से महत्वपूर्ण ज्ञान थे. तो एक तो हम लोगों के समक्ष जो आर्यभट्ट पर टीकाएं हैं, आर्यभट्ट पे भास्कर ने लिखा, एंड भास्कर रोट दैट ही बिलोंग टू अस्मक कंट्री. सिंस Sujeet Nayan sir is with us, we know that Khagol and Taregna, these are two very important sites near Patna, which are often associated with great Aryabhatta. But why Bhaskara mentioned that he was a Brahmin from Asmak kingdom? There was migration, of course, from Asmak kingdom in Magadh region, and the scholars got massive land grants near Patna. And we find that three of the popular Gotras, Kaudinya Gotra, Vishnuvidra Gotra, and Chandratre Gotra, are quite common in Patna district. And these Gotras are common Gotras in the land below Narmada and in the region of Godavari. So, of course, there was some migration from that region, and the scholars had settled in Patliputra. And Bhaskara, who belonged to Western India, might have been aware of this tradition that his forefathers were immigrants or they had migrated from Asmak country. I have heard in my childhood days, which may not be historically correct, may not be archaeologically substantiated, but I have heard that Asmara is a village in Patna, and many people considered them locally as the village of Aryabhatta. So, since there is no established theory about it, ascertaining that he belonged to that particular village will not be historically correct fact. But his birth with Magadh is well known, and so when we are celebrating the heritage of Bihar, it is a subject of great pride. Somehow, the scholars who wrote very good commentaries on Aryabhatta, they belong to South India. And we have many great mathematicians from Telugu region and also from Kerala region, Malabar region, who wrote on different chapters of Aryabhatta. And one of them was Parameshwar. Parameshwar belonged to Kerala. He belonged to a village named Bharat Puja, and this village it is known as village of Parameshwar, who wrote a very good commentary on him, and later on his commentary was translated into English by Cairn. Nilkant was another commentator on Aryabhatta, and he also belonged to Malabar region. Similarly, Yalla Sri Dharacharya, who was son of Baladitya, belonged to Kurnool district of Andhra Pradesh. He also wrote a commentary on Aryabhatta. Raghunath Raj was another mathematician who wrote a commentary on Aryabhatta. So in South Indian tradition, we find that various commentaries were produced on Aryabhatta, and specifically in Andhra region, in Kurnool district, and also in Malabar region, several works were produced on the Ganitpad and Golpad of Aryabhatta. And Kerala School of Mathematics is very famous. So this Kerala School of Mathematics, actually, which talked about heliocentric theory, जो सूर्य केंद्रित एक प्रकार का सिद्धांत है यूनिवर्स का, ब्रह्मांड का, उसके ऊपर उनका जोर था. और we can say that it was Aryabhatta who propounded the theory, heliocentric theory. One very important aspect of his theory is that he has discussed about an imaginative mountain and a sacred mountain which exists on the navel of the universe, and that is Meru, Mount Meru. So, considering Meru as the center, he has described what Earth is, and he is the first important, mathematician and geographer also, who discussed about Vishuvat. Equator क्या है, इसके बारे में उन्होंने बात की. What is Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn? He has exactly mentioned about their degrees, and also defined that the one circle is equal to 360 degree. So ये वृत्त का मान क्यों 360 डिग्री है, उसके भी वैज्ञानिक कारण को उन्होंने बताया. और that is true in astronomical context. That is very important because Earth revolves 360 times in 1 year on a circular pathway around the sun. So it should be taken as the mana of a wreath or of a circle. This is not one thing which is hypothetical, rather it is based on astronomical principle. So Aryabhatta's theory that mathematics has to be understood in terms of astronomy, and astronomy should be understood in mathematical terms, this is undoubtedly a very great contribution of this mathematician and astronomer. So भारतीय mathematicians और astronomer ने तो इनके बारे में लिखा ही लिखा. There was a book written as Jij al-Arj Bahar. It is basically a translation, and it is the Arabic translation of Aryabhattiam. The name of the text is Jij al-Arj Bahar, and it describes about all the fundamental theories of him. We know that he talked about gravitational force of the earth. We know that he talked about arithmetic. We know he talked about astronomy. He talked about the system of mathematics, which later on became popular in Arab as Al-Jabr, which is actually called Bijganit in India, and Arabs called it Hindsa. अरब के लोगों ने भारतीय गणित की पद्धति को हिंदसा कहा और उसको यूरोप ने अलजबर कहा. तो अलजबर में जो भी प्रचलित हुआ था उसका आधार जिज अल अर्जबहर था, जो एक ट्रांसलेशन है, विच इज ए ट्रांसलेशन ऑफ आर्यभट्ट्स profoundest work Aryabhattium. When Al-Khwarizmi translated Indian works on mathematics, he was also inspired by the great Aryabhatta and Hisab-e-Gubar, which is a translation of Dhuli Karma. We had systems of mathematics known as Rasi Ganit, Pati Ganit and Dhuli Karma. हम लोग पट्टिकाओं पर गणित बनाते थे, हम लोग राशि गणित जिसमें अरिथमेटिकल कैलकुलेशंस की गणना की जाती थी, और गणित के मामले में जो छंद शास्त्र के पिंगल ने स्थापित किया था, एक इन्वर्टेड पिरामिड विच वी कॉल्ड त्रियक प्रस्तर, विच वी कॉल अंक प्रस्तर पहाड़ा इन हिंदी, दैट वाज इवॉल्व्ड बाय the scholar of Chand Shastra Pingal, and the mathematical interpretation of Pingal Shastra was also incorporated in mathematics, popular mathematics of that time by Aryabhatta. आर्यभट्ट ने अपने पूर्ववर्तियों के ज्ञान को समेकित किया था, और जो एक हमारा अंक प्रस्तर, अंकों के पहाड़ा का विज्ञान थी, जो अवधारणा थी, जो बिहार के लोकमानस में आज भी एक छंद के रूप में, गीति के रूप में प्रचलित रहा है, वो भी आर्यभट्ट ने उसका उल्लेख किया था. And all these important aspects of mathematics were taught in his name in the University Bayatul Hikma of Iraq. बयातुल हिकमा जो इराक का विश्वविद्यालय था, वहां ये ज्ञान कैसे पहुंचा, ऐसा लगता है हिस्टोरिकली it was because of interaction with the Arab travelers, traders and adventurers who came to Malabar coast, and from Malabar coast with Indian traders and Arab traders this knowledge of mathematics had reached to Arab world, and from there it reached to Syria. और आप लोगों ने, ज्यादातर लोगों ने फेबेनिकी नंबर के बारे में सुना है. who was an Italian, Febeniki was an Italian. His father, who was a Christian reverend father, head of a church, had asked him to visit Syria because Syrians had learned Indian mathematics from the Arab traders, and Arab traders were well versed in Indian mathematics. So Febenki reached there to learn Indian mathematics, and in Italy it was known as Indian numerics. इसी प्रकार से सीरियाई लोग और जो मुस्लिम लोग थे जो स्पेन पहुंचे, तो स्पेन में भी 12th-13th सेंचुरी में वर्क वाज डन ऑन न्यूमेरिकल ऑर्डर, और ये जो इंडियन नंबर्स थे, डेसिमल सिस्टम था, बीज गणित था, इनकी बात हुई और कहा गया कि इंडिया इज मदर ऑफ मैथमेटिक्स. इट वाज ए वेरी पॉपुलर एडिज इन स्पेन, and it was basically based on the sutras of Aryabhattium. So the mathematics of Aryabhatta not became only popular in Andhra region, and from Andhra region it reached to Karnataka region, and also in Kerala region, Malabar region, and from there it reached to the Arab world. This may be the probable route of the journey of the mathematics of Aryabhatta. It also went to Central Asia, where Al-Khwarizmi worked on Indian mathematics, and from Bayatul Hikma it reached to Syria and also to Turkey, and with Turkey's penetration into Europe, this science, mathematics learning became quite popular in Europe, and it was, of course, one of the important regions which played pivotal role in European Renaissance. Since it was a holistic science, it discussed physics, astronomy, astrology, geography, and mathematics in calculation in entirety, with the graha, nakshatra, sun, moon, and talked about the science of calendar. It influenced the entire arena of European science through Turkey and Rome, also through Syria and Spain. And this was how, in the evolution of the mathematics in the world and growth of physics in the world, the knowledge provided by Aryabhatta was the most so substantial contribution made by an individual, and that scientist belonged to Bihar. So I think I have taken already much of time. This is a very, you can say, elementary information that I have provided. A scholar may build up a very, you can say, well synchronized and scientific idea on the basis of a comparative study of Indian mathematics and physics with the Mishra mathematics and physics. And interestingly, all calculations about the diameter of Earth and the distance of Earth from Sun and distance of Moon from Earth and diameter of Sun and Moon, all such calculations which have been provided by him, they are very close to the modern calculations. So when Europe say it is a happy coincidence, we cannot accept that it is a happy coincidence. It is a well calculated and mathematically calculated Indian science that played important role in the growth of astrophysics in the world, also in the growth of mathematics in the world, because on the basis of Roman, mathematics and the type of order they had, a figurative sort of order that they had evolved for calculation, it had not given this knowledge system of Europe a wide spectrum and had not resulted into a great scientific revolution in the world. So Indian numerical order, decimal system, algebra, calculus, and Indian geometry, what the Westerns say, only ritual geometry. We cannot accept the European hypothesis, it is just ritual geometry. The geometry which actually had taken India as the center of the world, and it has been described in geo-astronomical context of Bharat. So Aryabhatta was just not a great scientist, a great nationalist, कि उन्होंने सब कुछ भारत के संदर्भ में व्याख्यायित किया है. लंका से नीचे विश्वत रेखा है, विश्वत रेखा के ऊपर के स्थान को लंक कहते हैं. लंका उससे ऊपर है इसलिए उसका नाम लंका पड़ा है, लंक से ऊपर होने के कारण पड़ा है. भारत से रोम कितनी डिग्री पर है और भारत से यव और सुमात्रा द्वीप कितनी डिग्री पर है, यह कैलकुलेशन भी आर्यभट्ट ने दिया. और यह भारत केंद्रित ज्ञान है. जब हम पूरी दुनिया के समक्ष भारत केंद्रित ज्ञान की बात कर रहे हैं, तो इस भारत केंद्रित ज्ञान को देने वाले आर्यभट्ट का नमन आवश्यक है. और हेरिटेज डे पर हमने आर्यभट्ट को याद किया और अनंत आशुतोष द्विवेदी जी ने यह अवसर दिया, आजाद जी ने मुझे बोलने के लिए आमंत्रित किया. आप सबों का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद.
Thank you so much, sir, for your very enlightening and thought-provoking lecture on the life and contributions of Aryabhatta, a remarkable scholar from the ancient Patliputra. And you have certainly left us all with so many things to ponder upon on the history of science and the history of mathematics and the contribution of this great person from the past. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Now we transit to our next segment of our academic session, and it is my pleasure to introduce and welcome our second speaker, Dr. Sujeet Nayan. Sir, you are online.
Unmute.
Dr. Sujeet Nayan, sir, is currently superintending archaeologist in the excavation branch 3 in Patna. He is also the director excavation in the Rajgir archaeology. uh, Dr. Sujeet Nayan sir will be speaking on the topic on the on the
Audible.
heritage of Magadh. Yes, sir, you're audible, sir.
Thank you so much. First of all, I would like to thank the society and all participants, especially Dr. Anand Burdhan ji, whom I respect so much. And he has delivered a very enlightened lecture. And my topic or him on the eve of World Heritage Day 2024 is Heritage of Magadh, Opportunities and Challenges. So I have shared my slides. Is it visible, Mr. Ananta Sutosh Dwivedi ji? Dr. Dwivedi ji, is it visible? Slide is visible or
Yes,
not?
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Visible, sir.
Either plus or just to make it. So I would like to focus on the Magadh archaeology, especially archaeology. What we have challenges right now in the field of research, what we have left and what to do, what to add in future. And right now, what are the challenges which we are facing in the field of research and archaeological discoveries? So I would like to focus the Magadhan part, that is old and new raspberry especially. So you see here, first of all, Buchanan came here in 1811-12, and what he wrote about the raspberry, when he entered into the new Rajgir area fort, which was built by Ajashatru or Binushara, the father of Ajashatru. And he heard one thing, that fortification wall made out of a stone rubble masonry was built by Sher Shah. It was a tale of local people informed him, and he narrated like that. Second thing, nobody knows the historicity of the new Rajgir, the entire picture of the new Rajgir. Though it was excavated in 1905-6 under the direction of Marshal Jairam Shahni, excavated the site. In 1950-51, respected Amlanand Ghosh, the then Director General, excavated the site. And in 1961 to 63, Sri Raghuveer Singh, the then Superintending archaeologist of this zone, but no one has spoke about the actual chronology before the pre-Mauryan. So we don't have any antiquity or artifacts before the Mauryan Empire. So that is our challenge. Second thing, what I observed, that Nalanda, history of Nalanda starts from Gupta period. So we didn't have any archaeological evidence before 4th century AD. Though we have excavated in Jafardi area, very near to Nalanda, and the historicity of the Nalanda goes back to 1200 BC. So even Chalcolithic period, we have evidence. So I'm talking about the different scholars who worked here. And likewise, most ever archaeologist, Sri P.K. Muhammad sir, who excavated the new stupa. It is said that Azad to build it. And the Buddhist casket was there and it was buried. And over that, it was constructed. A stupa was constructed by Azad. And later on, it has been excavated by King Ashoka, and he just took out the Buddhist relic and built more than 84,000 stupa in different parts of the country. I'm talking about the then Major Kittu in 1847, who also visited the site, Cunningham in 1871 and 78, Deharam Sahni, Marshall, Eghus, Dr. Patil, Ranveer Singh, as I told you, P.K. Muhammad Sahab, and Dr. P.K. Mishra also excavated in Bhura, and I was also the part of that excavation. And in 2008-9, it was re-excavated by L.G. Nikosezi. And at that time, I was also excavating the site of Bhura. It is stated in Ramayana that Giri was founded by Vasu, fourth son of Brahma. And in Mahabharata, Jarasandha, progenitor of Bhadrath, Vimshara, Ajasattu, Udayan, who transferred the capital town from Rajgiri to Patli. So, old Rajgiri, I am talking about old Rajgiri within the Cyclopean wall. The most visible antiquarian remains of the Rajgiri is its Cyclopean wall. And it was erected for defense purpose, everybody knows, by fitting huge irregular boulders. And it is also said that the similar kind of Cyclopean wall was constructed in Turkey, Italy, Peru, Japan, and the masonry of these walls is found to be the same. The most famous Cyclopean wall of Rings and Mycenaeans is generally assigned to 14th and 13th century BC. The Mycenaean construction of wall is quite akin to the Rajgir Cyclopean wall. It is very interesting because we don't have date right now about the Cyclopean wall. What is the date of Cyclopean wall? So we have challenge. We have to face it. We have to search it. Mahabharata speaks about how Krishna offered the city, entered the city of the Grievous with Pandava, Bhim, Arjuna, and they are said to have passed through the fortification, Prakara, Burja of the Chattika hill, killed Jarasandha. Later in the same epic, it is said that the fortress on the hill of the fort on which old capital of Magadh grew up and was known as Rajgiri, abode of kings. So it is very interesting that Mahabharata also wrote about this Prakara, this fortification wall. But we don't have any archaeological evidences. You can see, what's next? You see the uppermost, this is a stupa near Banganga, who built the stupa, and P.K. Muhammad Sahab, renowned archaeologist, and Padma Shri, who excavated the stupa. And just left side of, within 500 meters, there are so many stupas we have noticed during exploration. So we need to explore and excavate more and more archaeological edifices, which is under the dense forest. So it is very difficult to enter into the jungles. Anyhow, we have located so many sites in Rajgiri and Magadh region which need to be excavated or documented as well. You see here, when I was excavating Roda Katura, and at that time someone informed me that old before the entrance in the inner fortification wall, means old Rajgiri, and the western part of the mound that is known as rampart. So someone has excavated this for procuring the earth, local villagers, and someone informed me that there is a huge massive wall, gigantic wall, it appeared. So in 2009, I rushed into at the site with draftsmen, and I saw that 3.5 meter wide wall, which is covered with earth. So no one has noticed as such massive wall. And there are so many structures still visible on the surface of the eastern part of the mound. It is also known as Kila Maidan. So you can show there are so many structures. If it rains, you can easily see the structures scattered all around the new Rajgiri. So you see the view of the satellite view of this new Rajgiri town. We have to understand the basic information, especially stratigraphy. So this is you can see 750 meter east to west. This one is western mound, and here we found a 3.5 meter wide wall in 2009. So minimum height 3 meter width of the rampart. Maximum length of the wall is 600 meter north to south. Minimum length of the wall 342 meter east to west. So this is the full measurement of this mound. This is the photogrammetry of the site. Actually, one of the scientists prepared it before starting excavation of the site. And it is bifurcated by the highway. Actually, it leads to Patna Gaya road, and it is near bus stand. You see here, you can enter into the 5 hill city from here. You see, this is the old map, contour map. In this, we have started excavation of the eastern part of this area and western part of this area and eastern. So this is the western one, and this is the eastern one. And you see, the main objective was to acquire the site because it is a low protected monument, but it was under the control of entirely state. I think municipal corporation. They used to throw garbages and everything. So anyhow, we cleared it and we just cleaned it. And you see, and we have to formulate an integrated development program of Nalanda. Actually, in minutes, we had prepared outcome of discussion because we had a meeting in Bhubaneswar taken by I think former Director General Professor K.K. Basha sir, who is now heading the National Monument Authority in Delhi, Chairperson, and regional level training workshop on looking beyond vision statement for excavation by 2035. So we had prepared a plan, integrated development plan, and we have already submitted. So in this meeting, we had invited Dr. Vijay Kumar Chaudhary, Dr. Atul Kumar Verma ji, Dr. Tosha Banta Pradhan ji, Dr. Zaras Tiwari ji, Dr. Shankar Sharma, and Dr. A.K. Pandey, Assistant Superintending Archaeological Chemist of Patna. So everyone had prepared at that time. And finally, we have sent it to the Director General. So at regular, this is the central point of the Nalanda. Here is Jafari, you see, and we have prepared a roadmap for the further research. Each and every 5 kilometer interval, 5 kilometer, then this 5 kilometer, 10, 15, 20, and 25 up to Durgaon. So there are so many archaeological important sites which need to be excavated, which need to be proper studied by different agencies, universities. So we have to come forward together to look into this vast knowledge of archaeology, culture. So these are the village name. You can go through this slide in details later on. But in and around Nalanda, we have to find out the entrance gate of Nalanda, Mahavihar, Nalanda ruins, and we have to find out the boundary wall. So we don't have an integrated picture of the Nalanda, which is a World Heritage Site. So we had formulated in 2009 integrated development program of Nalanda, and in order to formulate a conceptual plan for the overall integrated development of the remains of ancient University of Nalanda, we have surveyed more than 120 villages in and around ancient ruins of Nalanda. But we have focused the sites which is very near to the Nalanda ruins. So we have in contact 12 sites, that is Jwafati, Rukministan, which is excavated, both are excavated. Jagdishpur, 8 to be excavated. Sarichak, Badgaon, Begumpur we have excavated. Daman Khanda we have excavated. Machar Dihar, Pul Bhadari, Nanak, all these sites. And you see the Jagdishpur site, it is a very important site. It is also mentioned in the Buddhist text. So it is, I think, very near to Nalanda and Jwafati site. So Dr. B.R. Manisha also visited the site before starting excavation at Jwafati. And this is the Jagdishpur site. It's a big mall, very near to Nalanda, very near to Rukministan. Rukministan also excavated, and Jwafati as well. So we have how to focus on this site. And this is the Chanelagarh. This is the near Jethian. I think before Jethian, it is hardly 500, just distance, 500 distance from Jethian site. And it is very important site because the height of this mound is 50 feet, across 40 to 50 feet, and 1 to 1.5 kilometer is area, is length. So the area of the mound is 500 meter into 200 meter. It is very big. And Chandela reveals a surface study of mound that the site had been inhabited by black and red ware culture, gradually developed in the long span of time by NBPW culture, Sun Kushan Gupta. So the remains we have collected already, and it is published in Malviki, Journal of Humanity and Social Sciences, and written by myself. So we have to excavate also this site. And this is Rukhaigarh, very important site. And it was excavated by BHU for only 20 days or 30 days, I don't have any idea. And very few knowledge has been published, very few information has been published by the National University, but it requires vast excavation and major excavation. You see, Rukhaigarh is very important because it is also having black and red ware culture, black strip ware, NBP, and many Sun Kushana up to Gupta level we have collected. This is the Kushana antiquities, what we had collected in a previous exploration. This is Gorakhpatura, a very important site, and we have already presented PowerPoint before the Honorable Chief Minister, Sri Natish Kumar ji, in KG4 during meeting. I have asked him why don't we develop it as a Switzerland, because this is a very unique site and it can be promoted as the best destination for the tourism and tourists. So we have excavated in 2008-9 and 7-8 also. We had also discovered many Paleolithic tools there. And at the top of the hill, you can see the different architectural members and scattered. And you see, it has been never excavated right now. It's one of the biggest major structure at the Gorakotura hill. We need to excavate it. Just in between the stupa, small and big stupa, there is a 50 to 50 meter tank. So we need to concentrate on that issue also. And this is a Nongarh Lakhisharai. I just wanted to talk about the other aspect because Magadh, I'm talking about Magadh. So Magadh, we cannot just say that the boundary of Nalanda and Rajgir is Magadh. But beyond that, we have to think in ancient Magadh. So that is why I'm talking about the Magadh reign. So we have to see the Lakhisharai area. There are so many archaeological sites there. And this is Nongarh, very important site. This village is situated, I think, western bank of the river Q, 11 miles southeast of Lakhisharai in the Munger district. And this site was actually Professor Anil of Shantiniketan who informed me about this site. And it is very potential site. So we need to excavate this site also. This is Kurkihar. It had never been excavated because there are so many publications. You will be getting about the Kurkihar. We also visited this time, and I found so many antiquities. They are actually scattered either and thither, and they are just destroying slowly and slowly. And I felt so, I think, I don't have words to say what I feel there, because it is badly ruined by the locals. We need to get attention, and though it is a protected mount, but due to some reason, local intervention, we didn't even fence it right now. So state government has to come forward with the ASI and other agency as well to save this site, and as well as excavation is required here. This is referred in Directory of Bihar Archaeology, Archaeology in Bihar, the antiquarian remains in Bihar that by Bihar Party, the Forgotten Place Stone Image for Kurkihar, Bihar. Maybe it is published, the Forgotten Monastery of Ancient Bihar, Pal, probably South Asian Studies. It is already published in many. So Kurkihar, yeah, it's very, all are well known that there are so many bronze images, many bronze images are displayed in a museum, Patna Museum, as well as even in foreign museum. It has been. This is Zetian Valley. Zetian Valley is also important. It is very much published in many texts, and as well Wen Shang and also mentioned about this Zetian Valley, which is very rich site. There is a stupa. Recently, I visited the site, and I found the stupa is going to be ruined very near to the Buddha, where there is a Kshetravali modern construction is there, and in this there is a Buddha images are placed. This one you see, this is the Buddha image, and it is now constructed with a roof and everything. And just near this there is a stupa which need to be excavated as well. And Chankigarh, I'm talking about the East Champaran. And it is also never studied. It has never been studied so far, because Chandigarh is also important site. So it is also mentioned in different literary sources, as well as published in many articles and journals. And Tulsigarh, very near to the Chandi, there is a site it is also published in one of my articles, Manvigi. And you see there are so many images there. And Daryapur Parvati, Nevada. It is also important site. There are two big size bond. It had never been documented or excavated in a proper way. So we have to, it is mentioned in Directory of Bihar Archaeology, the antiquarian remains in Bihar. Degler has also mentioned, Cunningham has also mentioned. So, these are the sites what I wanted to show you. The problems is that we are facing the destruction of the sites. So we have visited many sites and we are getting many archaeological art and architectural members. But really speaking, we all need to get attention on these issues. So I would like to invite everyone, even Heritage Society, Director General Anand Burdhan, and I am watching Dhammaratna, Dr. Dhammaratna, who is very much interested in the field of archaeology and who used to visit time to time at the ongoing excavation site in Brazil. So everyone have to come forward to look into these all problems and issues. What we have raised, I think I have raised very few problems or issues, but we have opportunities. So we have to solve one by one, and definitely it will be solved with the help of other agents. The ASI cannot do everything, but if we all be united, we can achieve the maximum objectives, goals. So I urge everyone to forget everything and think about the heritage of Bihar, especially Magadh, if you want to construct the entire history of the India. So the root of history lies in the Magadh zone. So we have to concentrate on this issue. Thank you so much, Dr. Ananta Shutorji, Dr. Burdhan, and before the world archaeologist, renowned world archaeologist, uh, Dr. Manjul sir, whom I do respect much because he is very intelligent and excavator, good excavator right now. So everyone, I am very much thankful to all, and you have given me opportunity to speak about the Magadhan heritage and especially opportunities and challenges. And thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your very enlightening lecture and for your elaborate presentation on the heritage of Magadh. Thank you so much, sir. May I now request Dr. Dhammaratna ji to present his presentation. He will be speaking on the Buddhist heritage of Bihar.
Thank you, Azad ji. In the Bihar Heritage Conclave, in the academic session, pleasure to be part of this occasion, and I would like to thank the organizer, Chairperson, Dr. Sudhir Kumar Mishra, Principal of Sachchidanand Sinha College, Aurangabad, and Dr. Asutosh Anand Burdhan, and all participants on this academic session. As everyone know, Bihar is very rich in its culture, and most of the places it's belong to Buddhist sites. Today my topic is Buddhist heritage in Bihar. And in Bihar there is many places belong to the related to the life of Buddha, who is living in this world for 18 years, and 45 years he spent his teaching not only in Bihar, UP, and other parts in India. And Bihar is, we have two most World Heritage Sites, and most of the two most heritage sites is belong to Buddhist sites. But it's our pleasure that we can still have only two heritage sites. Maybe we can get more than that. We are thinking if we can go through what we have in the Xuanzang record and other scholar who mentioned that how many places remain in Bihar. So in Buddhist sites like Bodh Gaya, it's World Heritage Sites where the Buddha get enlightenment. At the age of 29, he came to Magadh, and at the age of 35, he get enlightenment in the Bodh Gaya under the Bodhi tree, now which was presented in Gaya district, Bodh Gaya. So this was also most of the world heritage site, and many millions of people come to visit every year. According to my knowledge, basically most of the people came to visit Bodh Gaya. They are from like Thailand, Vietnam, Myanmar, Sri Lanka, and still it's going on. Basically in Bihar we have like the tourist season is only remain 6 months. It started from the November, October up to the April. So many people come to visit the many heritage Buddhist heritage sites, but they are lack of many facility, including like road, toilet, many things. So both not only the Bodh Gaya, like Vaishali in Bihar have many places. Buddha spent like mostly almost 5 raining season he spent it in Rajgir because he spent 45 year of raining season in his life, and only 5 raining season he spent in Rajgir. But Rajgir is the most important sites in Buddhism according to their culture sequence. And the Rajgir, there is many things happen in the Buddha time. The first Buddhist council after the Buddha get parinibbana, maybe after 6 months, the first council was held in the Vaibhavgiri mountain. Second thing is the vulture peak in Rajgir. Buddha used to spend the fifth raining season in the Rajgir. And the Veluvena Grove, Veluvena Garden. This is the first monastery donated by the King Bimbisar when he came to the Rajgir along with his 1,250 monks from Bodh Gaya. After his spending first raining season in Sarnath, he come to Rajgir, and the king Bimbisar welcomed him at the Jetian, and he invited him to stay in his Venuvana garden along with his devotees 1,250 monks with Buddha. So that is also very important place in Rajgir, and there is many other places like Jiwak Garden. Jiwak, one of the most like very famous in the ancient time, who have used his treatment to the Buddha when he get injured from the coming from the Girkut vulture peak. He used to come to the Rajgir for the getting arms, and Devadat he throw the stone, and one small part of the stone hit to the Buddha leg, and at that time the Jivak he helped him to get cured. So there is many places in Rajgir also, and along with that we have many places nearby the Nalanda. Like Nalanda also one of the most World Heritage Site, and nearby as the sir say most of the places and most of the Buddhism spread in East Asia from the Nalanda University. There's many small places still cannot excavated yet, like Jafardi. I think ASI already excavated, but still the tourists cannot go there. They don't have much facility. The road is not good over there. The tourist buses cannot go there. And main thing is that there is no proper guidance for this such kind of sites, like Jafardi, like backside of our Mandap Nalanda Mahavihar. There is Rukmini Sthan. Even there is one small site Chandi I think Sujeet Nayan sir also at the time present to excavate it at the time, but still that is no one know that place and no records in the people is aware of that. So there's many small places in Bihar, and the Bihar is full of heritage site. And is in the previous paper, like Sujit answer, show the mountain of Parvati Hills. That one also in the Buddhism like history that we used to say that in when the Buddha spent running season in the Rajgir, he used to go to that mountain and preach 20. He give the answer of 24 question asked by the Indra. So that was all also called that Indrasal cave. And in Buddhism we call Parimita Jala Sutta. The Buddha he preached that sutta in that place. In Rajgir, the Buddha preaches many sutra. So Bihar is the I think one of the most richest cultural heritage sites which belong to the Buddhist, and millions of people come to the visit, and we still don't have any systematically a proper documentation did by the maybe archaeology. Only they mention the both that this is belong to Buddha spent here, but we cannot get the detail like what Buddha did here, how many days he spent there, how many monks and how long they stay here. So I think we have to do a lot of work with the combination of the Indian archaeology, like our Heritage Society and many other society have to come together to preserve for the heritage sites in Bihar. It's not only for the Buddhist people, it's the culture uh, and our history. We have to save it, and we have to make aware to the people. Like last time we saw that we have to do many things with the college. We can invite, and mostly this is the most of the tourist sites, and we have to invite many foreign tourists that we have to make them aware this is sites belong to what the Buddha did here and why people come to here visit, and we have to make many facility over here, and this is only we cannot do alone here, and even the local people also get involved, then I think we can make more better and more preserve our culture, our heritage. uh, as we know, Bihar one of the most important place in Buddhism, and we have two places, Bodh Gaya and Nalanda. In the ancient times, still, uh, when we study Pali language, now we only can study in the Myanmar, the original text. But the culture, the tradition of the Pali learning in Myanmar, in Sri Lanka, in Thailand, it's go from the Nalanda. So this is the Naladan tradition. This is our culture. It is our heritage. So that's we have to save together, and maybe we can teach in the school the history. We can make the subject. I didn't see any like archaeological subjects in the college. We can only study in from the postgraduate courses. I think we have to inbuild it in the graduation courses, specialization in the archaeology also. We have to keep one subject in basically in the colleges. I think this will work, and many students will interest, and that they can join together for the preserving our culture. So this is my topic, and thanks to the all who are present here. And I would like to thanks to the all behalf of the Heritage Society, Dr. Asuto Anand sir, Azad. Thanks for the giving opportunity here to be part of this occasion. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Dhammaratna ji, for your uh, presentation and for providing an overview of the Buddhist heritage in Bihar. Thank you so much. For May I now request Dr. Sudhir Mishra, sir, Principal Sachchidanand Sinha College, Aurangabad, and our esteemed chairperson of this session to kindly present his remarks. Uh, Mishra, sir, am I audible, sir?
Yes, 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 yes. May I audible, sir?
Yes, sir, you are audible, sir.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. Thank you, sir.
Please
Uh,
switch on your camera, sir. Please switch on your camera. Your camera is off, sir.
Very nice. At the academic session one, first speakers very nicely present as Dr. Anand Burdhan Sahab, Assistant Professors, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar University, Delhi, and very nice research persons that you have read before this World Heritage Day 2024, sir. Aryabhatta and his mathematics as influence on the world of science. Sir, so brilliantly you have placed your matters before we peoples. So, the science of permutation and combination is very nicely applicable for there. How excavations should be traced back, how to make it more brilliant, and how the probability and permutation and combination should be used in order to highlight the matters before the horizon of heritage society. It is very much nice because the Aryabhatta का भी concept था sir, the discovery of zero as based on that. Because whenever we go over the permutation and combinations of the power of 2 to the power n and divided by 2 to the power n minus 1 plus 2, then that making the whole combinations that how excavations should be established and precipitated. In the light of all those things, Anand Burdhan Sahab placed and traced the matters in a very nice way before the society. I, on my personal behalf, the things is being very much acknowledged and accepted and being very much convincing and relevant to our global society. Because whenever the influence on the world of science is concerned, then it is very much important, sir. Many more things are still being excavated and many more things are to be excavated in the very soon. Then, so what is the role of science of the permutation and combination and making the calculative ideas? When the calculative ideas and permutation and combination should be combined in unitely, then that will make the very convincing matters to us. No doubt, Anand Burdhan Sahab traces back over the excavation sites in terms of the world of science that is very much convincing to each and everyone. On my personal behalf, I disperse my heartiest convincing sense to Anand Burdhan Sahab for the world science impact over the archaeological excavational sets. Followed by the second one, and Dr. Sujeet Nayan Sahab, Superintending Archaeologist, Archaeological Survey of India, share very nicely what
Namaskar,
the
sir.
things,
Namaskar.
what the things
Namaskar,
as
sir.
namaste, namaste, sir, namaste. That based on the Magadh's heritage opportunity and challenges. Very nicely, sir. Nayan Sahab, myself is the Kar Bhumi of Magadh actually. And that's why I just attracting a lot by your deliberations before the platform. Many more opportunity and challenges that you have already been traced back over the excavational sites during the sets of your deliberations. Nishchit taur par, as I hope and trust, what the things that you have excavated by your ends and by your ends of groups, and which is to be excavated by the group of yours, sir. I have no words just to saying before you because many more things of science are still being involved there, and you have already been brilliantly and lucidly go over theirs in one by one. Nishchit taur pe, you have already highlighted the opportunity of the heritage, and because the heritage of the different kinds that you have already been excavated and explained in very nice way. So far as cultural heritage is concerned, so far as educational heritage is concerned, as based on the Nalanda as well, Nalanda Bihar as well, and as based on the technological heritage as well, and as based on the impact of science on the wave of science and the world of science and globe of science, as based on the sets of ecological sets. Because as archaeology is not the things as confined in the one boundary only, having the broad spectra we have, on which many more coherent factors being combined together and make the broadened idea of the archaeological sets. Share, you have already highlighted the everything one by one, what the opportunity, what the challenges over which we must go over there and how it becomes excavated and very nicely in the coming future. You have already been traced over
Thank you,
there
sir.
very nicely,
Thank you.
sir. Thank you very much for all those things. Followed by Dhammaratna Sahab, Buddhist heritage of Bihar, निश्चित तौर पर what the things as based on the Buddhist archaeological sites in Bihar, world acknowledge the things on the global sites. लेकिन सर ने अभी बातें कही है कि सर at the level of PG, no doubt, archaeological specialization subjects are there, but at the graduation level, it should be inculcated. Sir, on my personal behalf and behalf of the locality of Magadh, I may trying my best to disperse my opinions at the level of university, at the level of governor house as well, that may also be inculcating at the level of sets of graduations too in the coming future, so that learners may also, excavators may also, archaeological sets may also inculcate the level of knowledge from the graduation sites too. Because मैंने अभी कहा कि having not the very confined spectra we have, archaeological may have the many more broad spectra that may have the many more subheads, sir. The heads may be educational, the heads may be cultural, heads may be technological, heads may be things of religious, things may be of the socio-cultural, things may be political. So on the basis of that, whenever we come over there to combine all those things in one string, then that should be traced back from the since backsides as well. That's why Dhamratna Sahab, what the things that you have narrated by your conceptions and by your deliberation, by your six of thinking, are accepting a lot, and the global sites also accepting a lot, because Bihar is the only sites, Bihar is the only way from where the sense and rays and birds and things of Buddhism becomes grown. Enlightenment area, ज्ञान और मोक्ष की धरती बोध गया हर सबों का हार्दिक स्वागत करता है. The things are not only the things that based on the salvation and the enlightenment is the land of Gaya. It is the things on which we have to trust more over there to trace, highlighting the facts of the archaeological sites in the coming future too. Sir, मैं आपके परसेप्शन को अपनी ओर से मगध विश्वविद्यालय की ओर से आगे तक पहुंचाने का सफल प्रयास करूंगा. Many more things are being recollecting before us very nicely. That's why I, on my personal behalf, gets assimilates the thing to the drainer sets of excavational platform of the Heritage Bihar as well. आशुतोषानंद द्विवेदी साहब को मैं बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद ये कहते हुए दूंगा कि सर, you have already recollect esteemed seats of the resource person we have, very knowledgeable, very convincing, very enriching, very knowledge worthy, and very well leading sets on the best on the archaeological that we have on this web platforms today. Thank you very much to all. Very nice conceptions accumulation for the sets of Gulshan Nanda Sahab for making so nice accumulations of the good relevance throughout. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. I'm also extremely thankful to all the speakers of this session. Many thanks to Dr. Sujeet Nayan sir and Dr. Anand Burdhan sir and Dr. Dhammaratna ji for their enlightening presentation and lecture. Now we move to the academic session 3, which will begin at 2 o'clock, at 2 p.m. So stay with us. Thank you so much, sir. I now seek permission from the Honorable Chairperson, sir, to officially close this session.
Okay, thank you, sir. Go forward.
Thank you, sir.
So should I leave the studio? We have to assemble in at 2 p.m. What is?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. At 2 p.m.